Hi everybody and welcome to Penfinity. My name is Musgrave and today we're gonna it's gonna be an offline recording, unfortunately, because as I said previously, I'm still having issue with my upload speed. So today we're gonna create a procedural heavy metal. So I'm gonna show you the reference I used to create this shader, and this one's gonna be it's not quite complicated. It's really about after that your setting and your tweaking. And yeah, it should be pretty self-explanatory. So here we go. Okay, so this is the reference I'm talking about. So this is a spatial engine, and I'm gonna create this one. So as you can see, the shader itself, it's pretty simple. It is a metal with is heavier reflecting, because we have a high specular here, we can see. So after that, it is the texture we're gonna play with, and I'm gonna give you a base to start with. So here we go. It's raw, so you're gonna see me maybe drink some coffee. So it was supposed to be live. Okay, so since it's a metal shader, so no diffuse. In fact, in real life, there's no such thing as diffuse. But okay, let me grab this node group, and this node group is nothing but what I showed you in the previous video. Is too glossy shader. I just had a multiplier. For example, if I put 1 here, 0.1 here on the second glossy, it's going to be 0.2, and I can change the multiply factor to be even greater than that. It depends on what type of shader I want to create. And this is to change the hue slightly if I need to. But it is much more a container than a node to work with. If I need to do some really fine tweaking, I'm just gonna blow everything and start to work with it. So yep. So let's attach that, and let me do some color picking stuff here. Give me 1 second. Give me just 1 second, see if everything is recording properly. Okay. So let me remove the light to see something. Yeah, it's pretty okay. It's pretty okay. So the specular is not high enough, as we can see here. We have a really high specular. So let me try to put that to 0.2. And yeah, it is a good one. It's a good match. I'm lucky on this one. Okay. So let's start with no, this is a multiplier. With the noise texture, I'm gonna grab the mapping node and put it to object. For procedural, I use objects all the time. Let's see what we have. I'm gonna use a color ramp. Okay. Let me. As you can see, we have maybe 2-3 layers of texture. We have a really thin deformation, and we have a pretty heavy one after that, and some additional details like these tiny holes here. We have some some details like this. So we're gonna play with that a little bit. Okay. So let me increase, and oh, before that, let me add, as I showed in the previous lesson, I had the math node to multiply, because if I want to scale everything depending on the object, I'm just gonna plug every scale to this one, and the only thing I have to do is just increase the scale here for to affect every texture, all the texture on the scene. Okay, so let me put a high number. I'm gonna put 30, and let me show you that. As you can see, we have lines like this, so I need to deform that a little bit. Let me no, the distortion is not going to do the trick. So I already did the shader, but I didn't came back to it because it allows me to review the process to understand it better. So that's why you're gonna see me hesitate on some stuff. So instead, I'm gonna use the deform. So I showed you in the previous video this one. Where is it? And I made a mistake on this one because I plugged, I put a vector input here directly to a color slot, and it works when the node are like this. You just plug it here like the Bartex group are set up. But when you have a group, when you have it like this, if it doesn't work. So the thing I had to do is just plug the color like this and plug the mapping node directly in it. But I want it to be visually self-explanatory. So that's why I made a modification. And on this one, what I did, I just keep the vector input. I put a separate XYZ and combine RGB and plug it to the add to the mix RGB add on the first slot, and it works perfectly. So when you see the node group, is you know it, the mapping goes straight there. So it's really self-explanatory. You don't have to guess. So it's just to be visually correct. So of course, when I plug it, it will shift the coordinate because of the add node. So that's okay. Whoops. Oh, I just did it. So and I'm gonna use. Let me use another. Wait a second. Let me move that a little bit. I'm gonna plug one, and let me plug this one here and this one here, and the result is too much. Maybe I have too much here. No, maybe 7. No, 7 is not enough. 15. 15 seems to work. Let me keep it to 0.5 for now. Okay. Let me plug that to a bump. No. I'm gonna plug that to a really low value because I want it to be really settled. So let me plug that here and let's see the result. Oh, I'm not streaming, so oh okay, 500 is gonna be good. And let's see. Okay, now it's a little bit too sharp. I need to blur the texture a little bit. It's true. Yeah, we have nothing like this on the texture, so let me. Oh. Okay. Let me. Oh, I forgot to put. I forgot something here. Forgot to plug the mapping here for distortion. Yeah, it's really too sharp. So I'm gonna use the blur node. And let me plug this here and put it here and here. And this one, I'm gonna plug this here too. And let's see the results. No, maybe 0.1 was already okay. Okay, let's mute it. As you can see, it's really, yeah. We put 0.5 for now, and we're gonna go with that. I'm gonna increase the bump to maybe 7. No, 7 is too high. 6, let's go with 6. You know what? I'm gonna add another. Let me add another noise. Let me add another noise and let me plug that differently. Because I don't want, let me. No, I'm gonna put them horizontal on this one. Yeah, let's keep that horizontal for now. I don't hide all the time like this because I prefer to see the entire node, even if it's big. I don't care. I really want to see the value. I can read it better. So it's up to you and how you work. So, and I forgot to put this here. I unplugged it. Okay. Maybe if I increase that a little bit. Yeah, it's look better. Let me duplicate this too. And this one I'm gonna put it to 15 only. And this. Okay, let's mix both. No, add is gonna give me too much. I really want some variation, but really subtle one. Okay. Let's keep this for now to 0.8. Okay. So I have my first layer here. Let's add the second one. So what I do generally, I just pick a big block like this and try to duplicate them. And do some tweaking to see if I can make it work straight away or if I have to change everything. So yeah, I try to keep what I did previously and start do some tweaking, change the combination, for example, and see what works and what doesn't. Maybe let's try to. No, I prefer the mix. I'm gonna reduce to 0.7 for now. Yep. Okay, now let me I'm gonna do on this one. Let me reduce. I'm working now on the bigger details. So I just try to see what works. And maybe I need to. I want something. Let me put it to 0.5. Yeah, seems to. And in fact, I'm not going to do the same. I'm going to let me duplicate this one, and let me put a bigger value here. I create two noise. I want to generally I use the same texture with different scale to create variation, because here it's really too uniform. So I put two different scale and mix them together to see how it works. So let's see. I have this one. When I mix them, I have something like this. So okay, let's see how it looks like. Duplicate this one and plug it here, and plug this one here. But this one I'm gonna give it a higher value. Okay. Whoops. Let me see. No, absolutely not. Start looking there like a grunge, like yeah, like grunge. It's because I need to duplicate this. On this one, I don't want blurriness. So let me plug this here and plug this here. Oh, why is still blurry? Oh, it's because I didn't plug. Oh. Okay. Yes. That's why. Okay, I have the detail I want, but I have to tweak them a little bit. No, it's not really that. It's I need. Okay, let me see how it looks like. Okay, we start having something interesting, but we need more variation. We need more variation on this texture. Let me look at it globally. Okay, let's look at this. Yeah. We need to introduce, yeah, it started looking good, but we need to introduce another texture. Let me see. Okay, let's try a Musgrave. Let's try a Musgrave. As you can see, the process on this one, because this is not quite complicated, so the process is pretty simple. But I'm gonna show you some crazy texture I made, and it can be. It's not complicated, but once you manage it well, it's really easy to set up. But it can be quite impressive, and in fact, is pretty damn simple. I will show you that at the end. So as I said, let me add a Musgrave. Let me duplicate this. Okay, what I'm gonna do, duplicate that again. I need some deformity. I need a multiplier. Let me put an I value on this one. I'm gonna keep this one simple for now. Yeah, when the nodes are too close together, it's not going to work properly. What I did, oh, it's still connected to the multiplier. Okay, perfect. Let me put a low value on this one. Whoops. Oh, no, 6 maybe. Did I plug it wrong? Remove for now. Something, let me. Yeah, it's much more something like that. That's what I'm looking for. Let me replug the. Yep, this is much more something like that. And let me... No, I want to switch to a math node. Switch to math node and let me add this to this to see what we have. So I have this combined with this on top, and I put the slide on both sides because I want this one being seen through this one. Instead, if I put it that way, it will be you show you that it will be almost opaque, so I want the texture to go through. Let me I'm gonna keep this one a little bit lower too. I'm gonna add this mix one. On this one, I will have this one too, this texture too. So maybe it's not. Let me think about it for a second. It's only had on this one. If I no, I'm gonna keep it that way for now. Keep it that way for now. Let me see what it's gonna look like. I made a mistake. Yep, here and here. Okay, so this combination is not maybe what increased noise texture. Oh, let me put that too. And put that to 6. No, this one too much details. Yeah, let's keep it that way. Yeah, this one starts to look much more interesting. As you can see, it is there is nothing magical here. It's really about tweaking to try to achieve something that looks believable and realistic. So let me have an overview. Let's see. Yeah, it looks much better. Yeah, really nice. I have the basic randomness I was looking for, and this is really the trick, is to make the texture non-repeatable, because that's the danger of procedural. It can be you can spot it really fast, but when you start to mixing stuff appropriately, it's gonna look like it's a texture you just plug into your shader. So yeah, it starts to looking good. It is a base. It's a good base. Sorry guys if I'm rumbling today. I'm really tired. I'm really tired today, so sorry for that. Let's keep it like this for now. Let's look at the texture. Okay, so you can see we have some pretty heavy. This one is really heavy details here. I'm gonna try to put this really heavy spot, and we're gonna make some tiny holes like this. Yep. Okay, let's try to do that. And this one, I'm gonna stay with the Musgrave because we have really big blocks, big shape here. So yeah, what I did previously with the Musgrave, it's gonna be. Let me show you here. Not maybe this. No, not this one. You see those type of big blocks stuff. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pick those two. But let me see something, because as I said previously, I have the mix of these two noise on this bump, and the third bump as this mix too. Maybe let me try to put everything here to see if the result look different. Oops. Wait a second. It's here and you go here. And let's see what it looks like. Okay, so we see the texture underneath a little less. So maybe when I need to do, let me go back to rendering. Oh, let me save, by the way. Maybe what I can do, instead I'm gonna switch this to a mix RGB and lower. Lower this one. No, I'm not going to increase the. Let me see what it looks like. Let me go back on the. Let me go back here. Let me see. Yep. Yeah, I need to do. Let me re-switch again. Let me switch it again. If I put it to 0.5, it's not really the this one I have to change. No, I know what I have to do. It's not really this. I need to increase the intensity of this one. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add one to multiply, put it to 1.1 here, and then plug this one here and go here. Let's see. But let me convert this to mix RGB and decrease it to 6. Oops. Okay, let's look. What is? Let's see. Yeah, this one works. Maybe it, yeah, it works like this. Nice. So I don't need to have another bump, because sometimes you can separate as much bump as possible if you want much more control on the level of on each layer of bump you're gonna add. But on this one, I didn't need to separate them and have both texture on each bump. It is a waste of memory on this one, and I'm gonna use this one to have the bigger detail I was talking about. So let's go back. Let's go back here. Let me. Okay. So what I'm gonna do on this one. I didn't put the scale. No, I can put the scale here. I have to duplicate that. Okay. But let me put it to 40. But I'm gonna remove information like this. Okay. Mix RGB. Mix both one and subtract. This one as. Whoops. No, it's not the right combination. Let me think for a second. Let me think for a second. Because I want to use that as a mask to create some much more diversity, but there is not that much. Yeah, this one's gonna work better. Okay. Okay, let's plug that baby here. And let's put it to 1. Okay. Look interesting. We start having those bold detail here. Maybe there is not a lot, maybe. I don't want to. Okay, the thing to have a little more of them group. Let me duplicate that again. Let me reduce this to 25. Increase the number of them. Oh. Okay. Let me plug this one here and see what this looks like. Yep. So I have much more diversity here. Yeah. Looks like me. So you can see it better. Yeah, we'll start having some really cool details. Yeah, nice. This one is nice. Maybe too much here, but I can keep tweaking for forever. But it will change. It will change depending, of course, of the type of object, and that's why I put multipliers everywhere. I didn't plug it here. I don't know why. Let me. Oh yeah, and I didn't. It was at 0.5, so didn't look right. Let's see right now. 30. Oh, I forgot the bad habit to go to that. Okay, maybe too much. Yeah, there's way too much. Way too much. No. 25 was cool. Let me put 8 here. Yep. Okay, let's keep it like this for now. So let's see. I'm gonna add the last details. Okay, generally for those type of why is it? I saw them. See tiny details like this. I generally use the noise texture for this type of stuff. But of course we can create endless variation. I can add some distortion with the Musgrave to have some big line like this, or even with the wave. You can really create crazy stuff. But I'm not going to bother you with endless tweaking. So let's put the last layer. Put the last layer. So as you can see, let me show you the tree basically. Whoops, something is not well aligned here. So I try to keep everything organized, and it is a bad example. And organized and really aligned, so I can see. I can really map easily what's going on, and I use frame to separate it, so I can navigate pretty much easily. So even when I have really big trees, I will be able to manage it with no problem. So now let's add a noise. I want to keep the multiply here. Let me plug this one. Oh yeah, of course. I have to. Wait a second. No, this one, I want to plug it directly here. Yeah, it was two. So of course I can add the same, add multiple combination of noise to create diversity, but I'm gonna keep with only one. We don't need to go. Yeah, there is enough. There is enough now. This one, or maybe the noise is not the right one to use. Let me use a Musgrave instead. Yeah, this one is gonna be better in my opinion. Maybe not. Let's see. Let's try. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the previous one, for example, as mask, like this one. I can use this one to mask this one. This is exactly what I'm going to do. Let me plug. We put 30. Whoops, I put 3. 30. Thank you, mister. Plug this one and let me plug this one. You can see before, after. So I have less. I put this one really. Oh, it's not going to do anything. And I can even multiply with this one too. You can see I remove more and more. And let's use this. Okay. I want to invert this one, so I want it to go inside, like this. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, there is maybe way too much. There's way too much of the previous texture. let's keep it that way for now. Yeah, I put maybe way too much effects on this one. Let me see. Yeah, just overdo it on this one a little bit. Especially on this one, let me try to... try to clamp the value, so maybe it's not... Yeah. Because I didn't clamp clamp the value here, so it take extra value you're not gonna necessarily see here. Oh damn, I put it here, I never used it. Okay. Oops. So let's see on this one what it look like. Okay, so I overdo it a little bit on this one, but I'm not gonna spend time tweaking it on this session. I don't want to keep it extra minute on you. But it is basically, let me show you the one I did. Let me see if I can, wait a second. Made. Give me a second. This is the one I did. This is the final one you see on the teaser. As you can see, on this one I didn't have the tiny holes and the bigger protrusion, but this one is there is much more work on this one to have this part, this type of flat part here. It is just, as you can see, we have a big block like this here. We have here too, like in a reference. Oh, let me show you that. Like in a reference here. So we have flat parts here. So yeah, as you can see, the process is pretty simple. You just have to observe a lot. It's really a lot of observation, and try to add and remove things, and try to keep everything manageable. As you can see, there is not a lot of texture here. Let me show you. I'm currently working on a bunch of this is when I'm working on a bunch of rusts, procedural rusts. Let me show you no, it's not there. Give me a second. If I can find them. Okay. I'm working on some procedural rusts, and this is not. This one is another a procedural one from this one, but with procedural rust you will be able to have endless type of variation depending of which level you're gonna act on to with the bump and the colors and stuff. And combine that with post-production, you will be able to create with really few a procedural texture to begin with, endless possibilities. So that's what I'm working on. This procedural is this one. It is this one, as you can see. So we have here really crazy details, and we can separate each level of this texture, and you don't need, once this entire node is created, you will not need to go to manage each setting. I'm currently working on a course on a really advanced texturing, and I'm going to show you a technique to go through the procedural texture. What I mean by that is you're going to use a tiny group of node, will go in depth of how can I say that? It's going to go through each level of the texture without having to tweaking that. So once that is created, you can even set it as a group, put it aside in your library, call it, and plug it to the depth node I will show in the course, and you will be able to go through the texture and plug it to mix RGB and do some crazy stuff like I did with this one. You will be able to go through everything here without having to tweaking the node again. So yeah, I will show you that in depth. I'm really trying to craft everything for to understand each topic, because it can seem to be really difficult, but trust me, it is not. It's just about really paying attention and know what you have in Blender and how to use it. And at the end of the course, you will see it will be ridiculously easy to create amazing stuff. And I really believe in procedural texture, because it gives you so much flexibility. First of all, it keeps the file really low, so you will need less texture as needed for project, and yeah, it's really manageable and easy to tweak. So I will show you that in the course I'm currently working on. So this is it. So as always, I hope it was informative. If you have any question, guys, as always, don't hesitate to ask me. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and see you soon, everybody.